And my friends, you know the story of the three punishments. Back in olden days, a king orders his servant to go to the market and buy him some fresh fish, gives him $100. Servant goes to the market. He sees fresh fish, but he also sees 3-day-old fish. It will only cost $50, which means he can pocket the extra 50. And besides, he figures the king will never notice, so he buys the 3-day-old fish, brings it back to the king. It gets cooked up. The king eats it, and immediately spits it out and says, "Bring that son of a gun before me." Well, eventually the servant admits what he did, and the king says, "You deserve to be punished. I'm going to give you a choice. You can eat the fish that remains, or you can accept the whipping, or you can just pay me back the $100. Well, the servant has no intention of repaying the money, and he's certainly not going to sit still for a whipping. He says, "Okay, I'll eat the fish. How bad could it be?" Takes a couple of mouthfuls and immediately vomits because it's that horrible. Well, since he hasn't eaten all the fish, he needs to select from one of the other two punishments. And he's sure as heck not going to give the money back, so he says, "Okay, I'll take a whipping. How bad could it be?" But after 2 or 3 lashes, he's screaming and crying, and so he ends up reimbursing the king. He thought he was more clever than the king, and so not only did he bring punishment down upon his head, but every choice of punishment, every conceivable punishment, down on his head. You now know basically all you need to know about the modern state of Israel. Israel, which allowed the Palestinians to stay in the country in 1948, didn't throw them out, granted them citizenship, granted them control over the Temple Mount following the 6-day war, allows them to vote, hold public office, subsidizes them to the tune of hundreds of millions of shekels, gives them land, rewards the taking of hostages, and spends decades pursuing a bogus peace deal that was never really possible, and which the Palestinians themselves would never, ever honor. And so Israel is the foolish servant who, because it thought it was more clever than the king, has brought down every possible punishment upon its head. It's a sad tale, but it's real life, and that's where we are today with the state of Israel.